Hello there everybody and welcome back to another video. Now today we're going to be taking a look at yet another operating system. This is actually a Linux distribution, as you can see right here, and it's called Deepin 15.5. And this actually comes as another viewer request by, I believe the name is Owen Hayes right here. He recently posted this comment on my Windows 7 Neon video. And he asked me basically, hey, could you do a video review of this Linux distro called Deepin? And he says that it intends to be a Linux distro which competes with OS X and Windows in, I believe he meant to say simplicity there. But yeah, I definitely wanted to take a look at this, because when I went to the website, it seemed like it would be something pretty cool to show on video. You can see right in this rendering here that this looks to be a 2016 MacBook Pro with Touch Bar. And it is running the Deepin Linux distribution, which looks a little bit like macOS 10. So I assume, or sorry, macOS, because they have changed the whole name around. But I assume that this is going to be or take a lot of like visual elements and that sort of thing from macOS. Because if you go to the home page here, if this image, right here didn't do it for you, there's this one on the home page that literally looks just like a MacBook Pro once again. And it is running this operating system with what again looks like a macOS 10 style dock, or sorry, I'm going to probably say macOS 10 or OS 10 a lot because I'm just very used to saying it, but a macOS style dock, and what also looks like a macOS style notification center as well. So yeah, it seems pretty interesting. It seems like it's going to take a lot of, as I said, visual cues and that for macOS 10, but I have never taken a look at this before. It's going to be a full blind install. I am actually currently downloading it. I am having to actually torrent this from a mirror because the official hosted download site is taking, like it says, it's going to take like 15 days to download the file. So I just said, okay, I'm going to find a mirror, and I did. So I am currently downloading it right now, as you can see. But one of the things I found kind of interesting is apparently this is a Chinese Linux distribution. It's based in China. The company that actually develops this, or the group of people that develop this, is based in China. And you can see if we go down here to the bottom, there is this. This is the company name Wuhan or Wuhan Deepin Technology Company Limited. And you can see on this, like under this hot topic thing, there's this post called "Why Trust a Chinese Distribution?" From this guy. I'm not even sure if this is somebody that works for the company or if this is just like some user, but this was posted actually over a year ago, and he says that, like right here, Linux Deepin seems to be an amazing open source distribution of Linux developed in China, yet China is infamous for censorship. And he goes on, and there's this like whole discussion. I was reading up on this. I read some like some forum posts and some posts over on Reddit, and there's kind of mixed feelings about this from a lot of different people. There's a lot of people that say that it's really cool, that that it has a lot of things to offer, that they say that the interface is very cool and very unique. And there's a lot of people, or I don't know if I'd say a lot of people, but there was definitely some people saying that it was very buggy. There was one guy, I think actually a couple people, saying that they were very disappointed because of just because they like got really hyped to like actually check it out because they thought it would be something pretty cool, and it turned out to be super buggy, and it didn't really have what they wanted in it. So I don't know if that that might have been for like an older version, maybe that was version 13 or version 14 or maybe even earlier than that. This right here is version 15.5, and so we're going to be, as I said, I always do these videos blind. I never really take a look at the operating system beforehand because I kind of want to do it on video with you guys. So yeah, I'm going to just let this ISO file finish downloading, and then we're going to be installing it in a virtual machine, and we're going to see what it's all about. We're going to see if it lives up to all of these things. As it says right here, it's elegant, light, and ingenuity. So we're going to see if it lives up to that, and see if it is actually something that you might want to use. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and just let it finish downloading, and I'll be right back. Alright, so here we are. I've gotten Deepin 15.5 fully downloaded. We've got a VM set up here. I chose the operating system as Ubuntu Linux 64-bit. I know that it's 64-bit, but I don't know what it's based on. It might be based on Ubuntu, it might be based on Debian. I don't really know, but we're just going to find out. So I've given it, actually I should probably change the RAM here. I'm going to up this to, we'll do 2048 megs, so 2 gigs. We'll do a dual core processor. I've given it a 20 gig hard drive, so that should be, hopefully enough. That was the default preset. So we're going to go ahead and just turn it on here and see what happens. Okay. That, that was weird. What the heck? Okay, it's beeping at me for some reason, but it just, like, installed, or, like, not installed, but it, like, selected the first option. That was really annoying. I wonder if that got picked up on video, but it, like, blared, like, a beeping sound through my headset, like the PC speaker was beeping. Okay, so here we are in the installer here. It says, to select the system language, so we're going to go English. Friendly reminder, system has detected that you're using a virtual machine, which will affect the system performance and operation experience. For a smooth experience, it is recommended to install. So that's cool. So it's able to figure out that it's on a VM, and it just kind of lets you know that this isn't going to perform as good, I guess, that they're trying to say, because it's inside of a VM. So, but we're not really going to worry about that right now. We're just going to, click on continue. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and make a user account here. So we're just going to go, my name is Michael. We'll do Deepin VM. Do we have to put a password? You always have to put a password. So we'll just do Michael as the password. We are in the New York Eastern time zone, so I was able to find that. So far, it's a pretty nice looking installer. It looks very modern, very clean looking. Doesn't look anything like macOS. Or Ubuntu Linux for that matter. It looks like it's its own thing. So for the installation location thing, we've got a simple and an advanced option. And if we go to the advanced option, you can see it kind of gives you a little bit more details about the partitions. So we've only got this one here. That is of course 20 gigs. So we're just going to go ahead and start the installation on that. And it's going to confirm, or it's going to ask you, or just tell you this is what it's going to do. So it's going to format the dev SDA partition and create an MS-DOS partition table, and it's going to create a new partition that's going to be ext4. So that's going to be pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead and click on continue. We're going to let it do that. And I guess here it's going to tell us about the operating system. So we've got Deepin file. You can't really read the whole thing. So we've got a Deepin store, which kind of looks like the Mac OS App Store. I assume it's just going to go through here and just kind of tell you what default programs that it comes with. A lot of Linux distributions do this. During the like when it's copying files over, it'll kind of show you what default programs are going to be installed on the system and kind of what they're used for, that sort of thing. So it looks like it has a built-in screen capture tool. Again, you can see like it's cut off over here and you can't really see anything, but I think it's just gonna go, or maybe not. I don't know what this dot thing is. So there's a pretty nice looking terminal here. Installing, you can experience the incredible pleasure of Deepin after the time for just a cup of coffee. So yeah, it's not really translated very well. I'm not really sure what you can experience the incredible pleasure of Deepin after you have a cup of coffee. I don't know what it's trying to say, but it's not really translated super well. Of course, this is originally Chinese, but you can see right here that they have a lot of people using it, a lot of different communities. These like images are going by so fast, so I'm not really able to read them for that long. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how this works, what it is, what kind of features it has. So this is cool. We have an independently compiled kernel. Again, I can't really read the whole thing, but yeah, I'm probably just going to pause the video right here. I'm going to let it finish copying all its files over and installing all the stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to do that, and I'll be right back once it has finished doing this and once we are at the desktop. And we have just reached 100%. It is letting me know that it is successfully installed. Reboot to enjoy the new experience with Deepin. Hope you like it. Please remove the installation media. Let me go ahead and do that really fast here. Experience now. Let's see what this is all about. Okay, it's not beeping at me again. So we're gonna boot into Deepin 15.5. And we're going to see what this is all about. Again, I've never taken a look at this before, aside from the images that I've seen on their website and from those couple of like Reddit threads and forum posts that I read. But it's got a pretty cool looking boot screen right here. You can see that it almost looked like a sort of water, like a tide rising animation in the logo there. And we're just waiting to be presented. Okay, here we go. So we've got my user account. So right off the bat, it kind of looks to me, at least, like a macOS 10, or sorry, macOS. I'm probably gonna, as I said at the beginning, say that a lot, but a macOS login screen. We've got this like similar looking power icon. Of course, the big giveaway is that it says Deepin right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and log in, and okay, so it's gonna let us know that we're in a virtual machine. We can choose between effect mode and common mode. Effect mode you can smoothly and gorgeously experience. Common mode you can extremely rapidly experience. I don't know what effect mode you can. Okay, do you want to smoothly and gorgeously experience or extremely and rapidly experience? Maybe one. Okay, maybe one is for like a novice user, maybe the effect mode is for like a novice user, and then common mode is for an advanced user. But I don't know what, is this just coming up because we're in a virtual machine? We'll just do the first one and see. Maybe we can change it, I don't know, but I don't know if it's really going to change anything around. Okay, so we got a welcome screen there. It auto resize, so that's awesome. So there's no like menu bar type of thing up here, and the dock does not do like a hover like thing where like when you kind of go down to it. Okay, package cache wiped. So we've got sound working, we've got the full display, so it automatically resized, and there's no VMware tools installed, so the OS automatically did that by itself. We've got a couple of icons down here, and or actually more than a couple, but we've got some icons down here on the dock. We've got this launcher right here. We've got show desktop, multitasking view, Deepin file manager, Deepin store, music, movie, Chrome, the control center. The wired okay, so kind of like your network status, I believe this is power options, the volume, the date, and then the trash. So okay, so it kind of combines the menu bar and the dock from macOS, because normally like your time and date and your shutdown and power off options are in the menu bar, and so it's kind of combined that just into the dock. So that's kind of interesting. Again, I'm not sure if that other mode, that like whatever was called common mode or whatever, I don't know if that's any different other than this. So let's go ahead and just open up the launcher and see what we got. So what looks like a pretty good I don't really want to say clone, but that's kind of what it is, to me at least. It's looks like a Launchpad on macOS. Up here we've got like a list view, so it kind of sorts it by category, so that's nice. So we've got like your internet category for Chrome, Skype, and Thunderbird. So yeah, it sorts all the applications. It's got Steam installed on here too, and it looks like there's a custom icon pack, because that is not the regular Steam icon. So they might have like their own custom icon pack installed. So we've got like a user feedback thing. And so we'll just go back to this one. So yeah, a lot of tools here. We'll go ahead and just open up Chrome. I'm kind of curious to see how it like how it looks on here. So we've got all the window controls are in the top right rather than the top left, in macOS. But I think Linux is, most Linux distributions have the window controls like Windows. They're in the top right. So let's just go to my channel here. We'll put in. And so yeah, obviously it's going to be able, to browse the web perfectly fine. Just pause the video there. What can you expect? It's just, like a regular Chrome browser, not really anything special here. Okay, we'll go to, we have this icon to show the desktop. We've got a multitasking view. So this opens up, and these are actually really nice images, by the way. But it kind of opens up, like a what's it called in macOS, I want to say expose, but I don't think it's expose. But it's some, like when it opens this up, maybe it is expose, but where you can switch between different desktops. Windows has this feature now. It's kind of similar to what it does, but it just basically lets you have multiple desktops, and you can click this plus one to add one. So that's cool. So it comes with a feature like that built in. We've got a file manager. Okay, so it's kind of got like a side-to-side effect when it's loading the application rather than bouncing up and down like in macOS. So we've got a pretty nice looking, a very flat and like modern looking file manager. We've got all of your directories up here, so it kind of separates it into like the Windows library folders, and of course macOS does this as well. And we have your internal disk right here. We can go ahead and make this full screen, so that's what it looks like when it's maximizing the window. So that's pretty nice. Let's go ahead and minimize this. Okay, so it doesn't do like a genie effect like in macOS. I'm probably going to be comparing a lot of this stuff to macOS because it just kind of has that sort of look and feel to it. Although there are some, there are going to be like some Windows elements probably in here as well. But yeah, so it's a pretty basic file manager. Just lets you browse all your files and that sort of thing. So go ahead and get out of that. We've got the store here, so this is going to be very cool to see as well. It's like an app store, I assume. Most Linux, I don't know if most, but I know that Ubuntu Linux, it has like an app store. You can go and download programs. I think Linux Mint might have something like this, I don't know, but I know that Ubuntu does. And obviously macOS does, Windows does now, so now this distro has it. You can download Steam from here, which is really interesting. I didn't really think Steam was in these. But you can download them, and it's very unique that it comes pre-installed on here. That is pretty cool. But it's got, okay, so like your home tab here, where it would suggest apps most likely, to your liking. We've got ranking, so it'll sort. Number one is Firefox Quantum, and then we got VLC, and then LibreOffice GIMP. So a lot of great tools. Most of this stuff is, I don't know if all this stuff is free. I mean, maybe you can pay for some of this stuff, but it just looks like that it's going to be primarily free apps in here. We've got, okay, so, and then it kind of sorts it into categories again. So we've got a category just for internet stuff. We've got one for chat. So it's going to have like a lot of, messengers and that sort of thing. We've got, one for music players, video, graphics, game. And we've got, like system tools and actually, okay, so you can get Oracle, VM, VirtualBox. So yeah, a bunch of, okay, it even has WinRAR in here too. That's cool. And then, other categories as well. So let's go ahead and actually try to download something from here. So we can go into, let's go back to like home and just find something. Let's go with this Firefox one. So we'll go ahead and hit install. Okay, so it puts it up here, or just puts like a loading animation up here. And when you click on it, it says, what task that it's going to do. So it's right now downloading Firefox Quantum EN. So I've never heard of Firefox Quantum. Maybe it's just like a, like a version of, Firefox. But so it's downloading that right now. It's got the, percentage right here. You can pause it if you hover over it and cancel it over here. While it's doing that, we'll go ahead and take a look at the music player. So this will give us kind of what it looks like when you have multiple programs and stuff open. Okay, so here is the music player. I don't have any music. Actually, I wonder if I can add, so I probably have to install VMware Tools to do that. But so we can hit scan. I wonder if there's like some sample songs in here. So, and here's the movie player. Yeah, it does not have any default. Does it have any default videos? No. Well, yeah, that is what the music and the movie players look like. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be pretty self-explanatory for what these things do, because, it's a movie and a music player. What's our Firefox at? 98%. This is not wanting to close here. Okay, it just installed Mozilla Firefox, so it gives us that nice notification. We're going to go ahead and exit the music player. And so I assume it just adds it to the launch pad. Yeah, so we've got Firefox in here now. So it just goes ahead and goes ahead and automatically adds it to the app launcher there. So yeah, that is a look at the store, or what was it called? The file, no, not the file manager. Yeah, just the Deepin store. So we got Chrome, we've got Control Center. And so the Control Center actually pops out from the side, so that's very interesting. So it's not like an individual window, so it kind of just has, you know, like this is where that you manage all of your stuff. So we've got like a volume slider, a brightness slider, which probably isn't going to do anything. We've got accounts. So yeah, all this stuff is managed from right within this side panel, you know, like this pop-out panel. This is basically like system preferences on macOS, or control panel in Windows. So if we go in here, it gives you, you know, like options like to change your theme, change all your network settings, your sound, time and date, mouse and touchpad, keyboard, you know, all your update settings, as well as the system info. So it gives us all of like our hardware info right there. It, you know, tells us what edition that we're running. So we're of course 15.5 desktop, 64-bit, and, you know, tells us 20 gig hard drive with 2 gigs of RAM. Oh, so it just like, these are just shortcuts. So like if I click on this network button, it just jumps me down to this network, like to this network area in this whole settings thing. But all of it is contained within this. So like this is not, so it's not like it's going to take you to anything different. It's just going to take you to the same list of all of your, you know, stuff, or, you know, or of all your settings. So there's already some updates. Okay. So far my first, you know, impressions of this is that it's kind of made for a novice user, maybe for somebody who's just switching over from Windows or from macOS over to Linux. As it does have some of the same elements as macOS does. It tries to kind of minimize what you would need on your desktop. There's only one like interface here, which is this dock that you're going to be interacting with. I assume you can have desktop icons, but there's no menu bar or there's no task bar. Everything's just contained in this dock right here. So for somebody who's just, you know, learning to use Linux, this is kind of somewhat appealing, but to somebody who's very advanced, I would not really think this would be super appealing. Maybe the visual style would be appealing, at least to me it is. This is a very cool theme, you know, that they have going on here. And this whole thing with the Control Center is very interesting, how this is not its own separate window. This is all contained within this side menu here. So that's very cool, and I did not really expect that at all. I thought for sure it was going to be you know, like open up into its own window and look a lot like system preferences, but it kind of has its own thing going on here. I'm not sure what that other like mode that you know, when I first booted in and when it kind of, you know, let me choose between those two modes, I'm not sure what that other one is, because I don't see an option in here to change. You know, if we go under display here, there's no option to like change into that mode. Maybe it was just something, I mean, I don't know what it could be, like what could be different about it, like what could be different. Maybe it adds something, I don't know. Yeah, I really think that is going, oh look at that. See, I'm like trying to end the video and I keep, you know, discovering new things. Okay, so there's like a weather program, and okay, so some stuff. Okay, so this is like the notification list. So these were those things that were popping up on the desktop. So this is where all of those are contained, so you can go back and actually look at them. But yeah, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, definitely be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this in the near future, as I will definitely be doing them. Of course, if you have any sort of you know, video suggestions and thoughts on this operating system, be sure to post them down in the comments below. I will definitely be reading them. I will definitely be taking suggestions. And yeah, I think that's really all that I have to say. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.